Hey everyone, welcome back to Incredible Insights. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating natural phenomena on our planet, the polar night at the North Pole. Imagine a place where the sun doesn't rise for months and you're left in darkness with just the stars and the occasional aurora borealis to light your way. Intrigued? Let's get into it. First, let's clarify what the polar night is. The polar night is a period during the winter when the night lasts for more than 24 hours. This occurs only within the polar circles, which are the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere and the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. The North Pole, sitting right at the top of our planet, experiences this phenomenon in a truly extreme way. The reason for the polar night lies in Earth's tilt and orbit. Our planet is tilted at an angle of approximately 23.5 degrees relative to its orbit around the Sun. Because of this tilt, as the Earth orbits the Sun, different parts of the planet receive varying amounts of sunlight at different times of the year. During the winter months in the northern hemisphere, the North Pole is tilted away from the Sun. This tilt is so extreme that the Sun doesn't rise above the horizon for a significant period, leading to the polar night. So, how long does the polar night last at the North Pole? Well, the exact duration can vary, but it typically begins around the autumnal equinox in late September and lasts until the vernal equinox in late March. That's approximately 6 months of continuous darkness. But it's not just complete darkness all the time. There are different phases of the polar night. The civil polar night, which is the period of twilight, occurs when the sun is just below the horizon. This phase allows for a faint glow, enough for some outdoor activities. Next is the nautical polar night, where the horizon is only faintly visible at noon. Finally, the astronomical polar night is when it's entirely dark, with no hint of the sun at all. What is it like to experience the polar night? For the residents of the Arctic regions, such as those in Svalbard, Norway and Barrow, Alaska, life goes on, albeit with some adjustments. People continue their daily routines, go to work, and children go to school. But the long darkness can have psychological effects. Seasonal affective disorder, SAD, is common, a type of depression that occurs at a specific time of year, usually in the winter. To combat this, residents often use light therapy, special lamps that mimic natural sunlight to help regulate their mood and sleep patterns. During the polar night, we try to make the most of the darkness. It's a great time for community activities, stargazing, and of course enjoying the spectacular northern lights. The northern lights! One of the most incredible aspects of the polar night. The aurora borealis, or northern lights, are a natural light display predominantly seen in high-latitude regions. They occur when charged particles from the sun collide with atoms in Earth's atmosphere, causing bursts of light. The long nights provide an excellent opportunity to witness this dazzling display, turning the dark skies into a canvas of vibrant colors. The polar night isn't just a time of darkness, it's a time of unique beauty and wonder. The absence of sunlight creates perfect conditions for stargazing. With no light pollution, the stars shine incredibly brightly. The constellations, planets, and even distant galaxies are visible to the naked eye. For astronomers and star enthusiasts, the polar night is like a prolonged celestial event. However, living in such conditions isn't without its challenges. Besides the psychological impacts, the cold temperatures can be extreme. The North Pole can reach temperatures as low as 40 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius, or even lower. This extreme cold, combined with the darkness, requires special preparations for those living or working in these regions. Proper clothing, equipment, and a good understanding of survival skills are essential. Research stations in the Arctic are well equipped to handle the polar night. We have continuous power, heating, and all the supplies we need to carry out our scientific missions. The polar night actually provides a unique opportunity to study the Arctic environment without the interference of sunlight. The polar night also has a significant impact on wildlife. Many animals have adapted to the darkness in fascinating ways. For example, the Arctic fox changes its fur from brown to white to blend in with the snowy environment. Reindeer have an extraordinary ability to see ultraviolet light, which helps them find food and avoid predators during the long, dark winter months. Marine life too, such as seals and whales, continue their life cycles in the icy waters. The indigenous people of the Arctic, such as the Inuit, Sami and Chukchi, have lived with the polar night for centuries. Their traditional knowledge and cultural practices are deeply intertwined with the rhythms of the Arctic environment. They have developed unique ways of life that respect and harness the natural conditions, from hunting and fishing techniques to clothing and shelter designed to withstand the cold and dark. So, how do schools and offices operate during the polar night? In many Arctic communities, life continues much like anywhere else, albeit with some adaptations. Schools remain open and children attend classes. The school buildings are well lit and heated to provide a comfortable learning environment. Outdoor activities may be limited, but indoor sports and other physical activities help keep students active and healthy. Offices also stay open and people continue to work. The workday is typically structured around a regular schedule, with artificial lighting playing a crucial role in creating a productive work environment. Some companies may adjust working hours slightly to accommodate the unique conditions, but overall, business goes on as usual. Now let's talk about commercial life and supply operations. Despite the harsh conditions, commercial activities continue. Stores, restaurants and other businesses operate with adjusted hours to cater to the community's needs. The supply chain is a critical component in these regions, ensuring that residents have access to essential goods and services. Supplies are usually delivered by ships during the summer months when the sea ice is at its minimum. These supplies are then stored and rationed throughout the winter. For more remote areas, air transport becomes crucial during the polar night. Cargo planes deliver food, medical supplies and other necessities to ensure that communities remain well stocked. The logistics of supply delivery require meticulous planning and coordination, often involving icebreakers to navigate through the frozen waters. Maintaining a steady supply chain during the polar night is challenging but essential. We work closely with local communities to ensure that they have everything they need to get through the long winter months. In recent years, the polar night has also become a subject of interest for adventurers and tourists. People from around the world travel to Arctic destinations to experience the polar night firsthand, take part in winter sports and, of course, witness the northern lights. This growing interest has brought both opportunities and challenges to the Arctic communities, balancing tourism with the preservation of their unique environment and way of life. So why should we care about the polar night? Besides its sheer beauty and the fascination it holds, the polar night is a reminder of the incredible diversity and adaptability of our planet. It highlights the importance of understanding and protecting our polar regions, which are crucial indicators of climate change. The Arctic is warming faster than any other place on Earth, and the changes happening there affect global weather patterns, sea levels, and ecosystems. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the polar night at the North Pole. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Incredible Insights for more amazing content about our world. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Stay curious, stay adventurous, and we'll see you in the next video.